to tonight's BB Can 5 chat.
Hey, everybody.
I was gonna say recap.
It's episode 4.
This is a chat. Okay.
Don't get it twisted. Dillion and Emily are on the block. I don't know why I keep writing that.
I don't know.
Hey, Dillion
and Emily are up on the block, and it's upsetting for them because they are like BFFs in the house.
Emily's really upset. She's crying in the corner.
No, she was so upset she didn't even find a corner. She just like... She picked a spot by a door and was just like... Ugh.
Well, you know what? Dylan is a good friend to go and console her.
I feel like he would be an awful person if he didn't, even if he wasn't her friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway.
I didn't see anybody else going over to her, so...
Okay, so Dimitri, on the other hand, he's living large right now.
Demetrius.
Yeah, it's actually Dimitri's. I've been saying Dimitri because I think that's what...
I thought that's what he was saying.
It's probably one of those things where it's like really sad on like America, or in this case Canada's part, when like people from foreign countries feel like they have to change their names to make it easier for other people. That makes me so sad. But anyway, Dimitri's is in with the vets because he's the HOH this week. He thinks it's just because he's like a cool kid and he's like, whoa, the vets picked me. Come on, man, it's because you're HOH this week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he might be good in future weeks, but I don't think they would have picked him if he wasn't the HOH this week.
Well, Karen thinks she's in trouble. She thinks she's going to be a replacement.
She's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, and she put Dimitri's up on the block last week.
Yeah. Well, it's time to pick players, extra players for the POV.
Right, we've already got Dimitri's, Dylan, and Emily competing, so the 3 extras.
Dre.
Well, she did say she's extra.
Netta and Karen.
Woo!
Ooh, I bet Karen's pretty happy that she's going to get a chance to stay off the block.
Yeah, I thought the host here was for sure going to be Gary.
But so did Gary.
Yeah, but it was Dallas, and Gary was like, I wanted to host. Okay.
Well, maybe they gave the host job to Dallas because in case he goes home this week, he will at least have had a chance.
I don't know. But anyway, before the competition, the house guys are trying to figure out, like, what would I do if I won POV? So Emily is talking to Dylan, and she's like, so, if I win the POV, should I use it on you? What? Oh, if you guys watch the spoilers, you know how I felt about this.
Get your life. Use it on yourself.
I'm sorry. If you're going to use the POV on someone else, just get out. Just leave. It's gross.
He's like, why would you use it on me?
Like, if I won, I would use it on myself.
All right. To get an extra advantage in the POV competition, they had an Oreo challenge because Oreo was the sponsor.
Yeah, there was an extra little promotional tie-in in this challenge, in this episode. So Oreos, yum. But anyway, yeah.
You had a Dunkin' Oreo like a cool kid.
This was only for the people competing in the veto.
Right. Everybody else judged it, so they gave them the little numbers, you know, from, I don't know.
1 to 10.
Was it 1 to 10? Did anybody
Most people
get
were
a
going
1?
like 7 and up.
Yeah.
It looked like.
Well, there were some good ones. There were some bad ones, Karen.
Yeah.
The winner was Dre, though, because she freaking unhooked her arms.
She was like, check this out. Ew! I thought Netta's was creative.
Netta's was good. Emily's was good. She dumped the milk on her head.
Girl! Yeah.
What would you do?
I would just eat the Oreo. I would be like, no milk, please. I'm vegan.
So use some straight up water.
Or you could use some almond milk. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Dre was the winner, like we said, so she gets an advantage in the Power Veto competition.
All
so
right.
let's talk about that.
It's time for the Power Veto.
Now, they're still dunking Oreos.
But they're human Oreos.
They are the Oreos. I love those Oreo costumes.
Are they humane Oreos?
I don't know. So this is like a classic Big Brother competition. You gotta jump in this... I was going to say a pile of water. You got to jump in this pool of milk.
You know what this reminded me of?
What?
Willy Wonka. Kind of. Because they had, like, the big chocolate pool. And
yeah, but you're not getting, like, sucked up the tubes and all Augustus glooped.
Yeah.
Don't get Augustus glooped. I'm thinking it's very uncomfortable.
This is the classic soak up the liquid and transfer it over to your vessel.
Yeah.
Your
squeeze
glass.
it out of your costume.
Right.
And not only is POV up for grabs here, $5,000
What?
are at stake.
$5,000, that's nothing to shake a stick at in Canada, because you don't have to pay extra tax on that.
Well, Dylan's shoe collection's worth almost $100,000.
Okay.
We'll get I think that's going to be the next episode. But anyway.
Dre's advantage was that her glass was partially filled.
There was already some milk poured in there for her.
Didn't really matter.
Yeah, this competition really benefited the bigger players because they had more weight pressing down on the costume.
And they probably had, like, more surface area, too, to, like, soak up the fake milk.
Yeah.
Although Karen really wasn't great at this.
What are you trying to say?
She's a large woman.
That was mean!
I'm making an observation.
All right.
I'm not saying, Karen, you disgust me. I'm
All right.
saying Karen's larger than the other.
Yeah. It seems like all the women were struggling here.
Yeah.
Except for Dre. She was the best out of all of them. And Netta was, like, really downplaying it.
Netta was not even trying.
She didn't want people to think she's a strong competitor. I don't blame her.
And why knock yourself out if you don't
She's
need to
safe
win?
until jury! Well, anyway, it really came down to Dylan and Demetrius. Yeah.
Dylan wiped out at least 2 times.
They both took a couple of spills.
They took some hard falls.
Yeah, and
there's
Emily,
gonna be bruises.
Definitely. Emily knew that she had no shot at winning this competition. So
but she still wanted to help Dylan.
She was like moving out of the way for Dylan, but then she was like, ugh, when Demetrius was around. And don't think people didn't notice that, because they did.
She was dunk blocking. Mm-hmm. All right, so Dylan ended up winning the POV and the $5,000. And he scarred us for life when he took off his white suit and he had flesh-colored underwear on.
Well, I mean, they were all wearing it, but oh my god, it was too much.
Ew, did you see the
Big Brother Canada, it was too much.
The mic pack was stuck in Dilly's crack.
No.
It was disgusting.
All right, well, let's move on.
Who's going to have to clean that?
I don't know, but they had to figure out who the replacement nominee was going to be now, because Dylan's obviously going to use it on himself, and he was the target this week.
Yeah.
So are they going to go after Emily or put up a new target?
Well, Demetrius has Dallas and Kevin and Bruno on his radar.
They all lied to him last week.
He did not mention Karen at all.
No. They all voted against him last week.
Well, I think he's going to mostly consider what Ica says to do because he's totally crushing on her.
Majorly crushing on her.
Yeah.
Majorly.
Although,
What?
I really don't think he's going to do what she wants.
All right. Well, Emily wants Karen to go up.
Right.
And she tells Demetrius that. She's like, if you put Karen up this week and we get rid of her, all will be forgiven.
Well,
you know,
she
nobody's
thinks that
gonna be mad
Karen
at
is
you.
the only viable option for her to stay in the house.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking.
Yeah. Well, Cass is trying to be a master manipulator.
She knows that Dallas is in trouble, and she feels like Dallas is her homeboy because they were on the same season. She feels like she can control him, so she doesn't want him to go home.
Didn't they hate each other on their season?
Yes!
So she's pushing Dally to go talk to Demetrius to put up Bruno.
Yeah, she's
and
like...
Bruno walks in on Dallas and Demetrius while they're talking.
Yeah, Cass was telling Dallas, like, forget the Karen thing. It's not working. We need to talk about somebody else.
Yeah.
But I don't see Demetrius putting Bruno up on the block.
Well, you got Cass, you got Ica, you got Demetrius.
At this point, Cass and Ica are both pushing for Demetrius to put Dallas up on the block. Or, sorry, to put not Dallas up on the block.
Right. I don't see how these 3 delusionals think brains, beauty, and muscle. I could see beauty and muscle, but brains?
Cass is very, very smart. Her problem is that she overplays. It's like on Project Runway. She doesn't know how to edit her look.
To edit, yeah.
But she is actually really smart, and she is good at manipulating.
She's a little bit too full of herself.
She's got to rein it in.
Yeah.
Rein it in, girl.
All right. Well, Dallas blew it. It's becoming painfully obvious right now, and Ica cried.
Ica, Cass, and Gary pull him aside.
He was done, so it must be true.
Well, she's telling him, like, look, you've been spending all of your time with Emily and Dylan. You haven't sat down with the vets in forever. Like, why are they going to vote to keep you?
You're going home.
Yeah. Dallas, you're going home. Sorry, that was too Sabrina. I'm not going to bother tonight.
All right. Well, Dallas calls a meeting of the vets, and
the only ones that were missing were Cass and Gary.
Right. Kevin, however, was missing mentally because the only thing he cared about was organizing his sock drawer.
Ica was really the only one invested in this meeting with Dallas. I mean, the other vets were just like, yeah, we're listening, but like, we don't
She
care.
was pretty pissed at Kevin, too.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm sorry.
He just wanted to fold his pants, okay? Roll them up, okay?
All right, well, it's time for the POV ceremony. And Dylan is like, okay, Emily, here's your shot. Tell me why, I should use POV on you. And she went. Mm-hmm. But then freaking Dallas jumps up like a jack in the box.
I got something to say.
You know that's never good.
Oh, boy.
He makes a ridiculous speech against Dylan. Mm-hmm. What the hell was he thinking?
Well, here's what he's thinking. At this point, he knows he's going up on the block, but he wants to try and get the votes. So he's like, well, if I make it really clear that I'm going after Dylan, maybe people will keep me over Emily.
That was the stupidest thing ever.
I mean, it made sense at the time. He kind of blew it in other ways, which I've talked about in the spoilers, but we haven't seen yet on the show. But I think that was, like, kind of his only real option at that point. I don't know.
I don't think he could have done things differently, but Dylan uses the POV on himself. And, of course, Dallas is the replacement.
How hard was Dylan trying to not punch Dallas in the face? He was all like his face was going crazy. He was pissed.
He must have had to use a lot of restraint.
We're going to see the fallout from that in the next episode.
All right. Well, who do you think's going home? We don't have to wait long to find out.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. So let us know in the comments. And until then, much love.